Imagine passing your eval and having it actually be a significant step in your trading career. That's the way it is over at Alpha Futures. So me personally, I decided I'm making it my main goal to actually get moved to live at Alpha Futures. And many traders might hear that and think, why would you want to get moved to a live account? Like for the trader, it's better to stay in the sim environment. But in this video, I'm going to talk about exactly what Alpha Prime is, the opportunities presented to you at Alpha Futures, and why I've made the decision that I've set it as a goal for myself to get moved to live at Alpha Futures. So the reason passing an eval at Alpha is different than another firm is you might be able to milk that sim accounts for a couple of payouts, but further down the line, you get more opportunities. I feel like not many people know this, but there's actually something called Alpha Prime, which is like an actual prop firm. Because like when you hear prop firms, I know you might think of like TopStep, FTMO, Tradeify, Alpha Futures, right? All these type of things, right? But these are like retail style prop firms. There's like the actual prop firms, which are like on Wall Street, right? Actual investment funds, and they operate totally differently, right? Like sim accounts aren't a thing there, obviously. So if let's say you want to move to an actual like trading floor, you want to get funded by a company, right? You want to advance like that as a trader, there aren't many ways for you to bridge that gap between being a retail trader, like trading with retail prop firms, and getting into the actual prop firm space. And to my knowledge, Alpha Futures is the first prop firm that allows you to bridge that gap, right? Because they have their own trading floor in London and they have experienced traders there. They also have a brokerage in the UK. So you got to keep in mind they are based in the UK, but it's not like you necessarily, if you get moved to Alpha Prime, it's not like you necessarily need to live there, right? Like I'm not thinking, oh, I'm gonna move to London and trade that trading floor. Like, yeah, it could be cool to maybe go to a trading floor, but it's not my goal necessarily, right? So I'll talk about in terms of like timeline, right? So obviously, until you get moved to live, it is essentially the same conditions as other firms, right? Like obviously, you're trading with the trustworthy prop firm in Alpha, but pretty much relatively same conditions between all these prop firms. So past then, though, when they say they're moving to live, like other firms, for example, you might have to forfeit a portion of your balance, right, in the sim account, or they might not have good live conditions, right? But I think the live conditions at Alpha are a great thing, right? So I'm gonna go over the live conditions, and I feel like as me explaining this, you kind of understand why I personally want to get moved to live there. So the way they do it is coming in, you start with a 10K like static balance. And I say static because on the funded account, you got to keep in mind it's an end of day drawdown. So obviously, since it's real money, it's not gonna trail. You have that 10K drawdown. You can lose 30% in a day. They have a daily loss limit of 30%. And for contributing the money to that account, the trader is going to contribute 5K and the firm is going to contribute 5K. So it's contributed equally by two people, 50% and 50%. So as for profit split, it is a 60-40% profit split. And I know a lot of people hear that and they think, oh, why am I getting 60-40 on a live account? But you got to keep in mind, if they're funding half of the account, you only put in 50%, they're giving you 60%. So you're making 100% profit split on the money you put in, plus you're actually getting a profit split from the money they invested into you, right? So at many other firms, right, like once you get moved to live, the firm's not going to invest any money into you. That's kind of unheard of, right? And it's very rare if it is present, right? So that's a cool thing. And you're wondering, oh, well, he just said other firms void the sim balance, right? In some cases, right? That's true. Alpha does not do that. So if you have any balance above 5K, so at the point you get moved to live, you can take like one more payout up to your max payout on whatever account size you're trading. And from there, if there is any leftover balance that can't fit into that 5K, it should get paid to you as a salary as long as you stay on the Alpha Prime program. And obviously, you can't just sit there and like milk the program. They expect you to like actually trade, which is a reasonable expectation. But as long as you keep trading and keep the account open over the next 12 months, they will split that up over a salary, which is kind of nice to have some guaranteed income coming in as a trader, right? So I'm just gonna pull up on my phone to remind myself all the specifics because I did have it right here. And they do give you two options when you get moved to live as well. Like let's say this Alpha Prime stuff, it just doesn't sound good to you for some reason, right? You can go the generic route where they call it generic live program, where essentially if you want a more relaxed environment, you don't want to develop, right? Just leave me alone, right? 80% profit split, but you're sacrificing any additional sim balance, salary, and you're foregoing the Alpha Prime resources. Honestly, we're just gonna glaze over that because honestly, I think there's no reason to go into their generic live program. Like they'll literally give you a better profit split, and they're gonna help you improve as a trader. Like unless you really don't want people to talk to you, but I mean, go to the Alpha Prime. So this is the first option, right? Alpha Prime program. I'm trying to remind myself if there's anything. I mean, there's no consistency rule, no news trading restrictions, there's no max withdrawal request on the funded account. Just things I feel like that are pretty standard on funded accounts, on live accounts, I mean. But so for Alpha Prime, though, it says this is for people who are looking to develop into true professionals, build a career, right? Not just a hobby. And that's like another reason, right? I feel like Alpha, like they have the infrastructure, they have the backing. They're literally geared at people who are trying to make this like an actual career, right? Like other places, like for example, if you keep milking some other firms, right, they're gonna be like, hey, stay on this live account, and the live conditions might not be that good, right? Or they could even ban you if you keep, let's say you risk heavy on lives and you're cycling or whatever. But it says, what are the benefits? Monthly salary, like I mentioned before. And here's another thing: weekly calls with the Alpha Prime team for strategy development, refinement, risk management, and market analysis. Alpha Prime is, and they capitalize this, actively invested in your success, right? So, what other prop firm is going to meet with you weekly to go over your trading? I seriously, like, I'm not even joking. I invite you to comment down below what other retail prop firm is giving something like that to their traders, because I don't know a single one. And it's not even like, if let's say prop firm X down the line, they decide to do something similar, do they have the infrastructure? Because Alpha Futures already has a different division, right, called Alpha Prime, where they're already running a traditional prop firm, right? So it's not like they're diving into the space. It's more like they have multiple branches. Like they call them, it's an umbrella, right? Like there's Alpha Capital Group, which is like the like ACG, the CFD style prop firm, they have the futures prop firm, they have an actual regulated brokerage, they have Alpha Prime. So essentially there's many things under this umbrella. And I just like the team of people behind it as well. I think I've said that before. But yeah, and they says you can also, like here, as for benefits, it says developing automated strategies with our in-house quantitative team. Like honestly, I don't even fully understand what that means, but I'm sure there's definitely some people that would benefit from. It says opportunities to visit the Alpha Prime trading floor in London to continue to learn from 7+ figure professional traders in person. So again, right? Like let's say if I start running up a crazy balance at another prop firm, right? Like how is that going to get me into a situation like this where I can learn from these advanced traders? The answer is it's unlikely, right? Like you pretty much have to get featured on like one of those, like something like Top Step TV or Tradeify TV or My Fund Futures TV, just to give some examples, right? Like you'd have to get featured on some stream maybe, and that's a good way to get exposure, but it's going to be kind of hard. And they also say scaling opportunities. It says performance-based increase in fund allocation and or salary. So that means obviously they could give you a bigger account to trade with, or it says and or they also could increase your salary. Like let's say like you have X amount of salary, they could increase that. So again, they're basically invested in your success, and they're rewarding you for better performance on the line. And there's just not many prop firms that actually have all this infrastructure set up. So seeing all this, like I could go to prop firm X where they have straight to funded accounts. I could go to prop firm X where they have daily payout accounts, right? I could go to all these prop firms. There's so many options. They all have benefits. But at the end of the day, I feel like you could try to save a couple dollars, get small benefit. But once I get moved to live, like, because I'm not trying to cycle these funded accounts, honestly, right? I'm trying to follow the rules. If they don't, because most prop firms, that's the way it's going now, right? It's getting to a point where they don't want you cycling the sim environment, right? And some prop firms, like they'll put this cool down period on you, then you gotta rotate between firms. Like at the end of the day, I think, dude, just like get a stack of funded accounts, just keep trading them. If they move you to live, they move you to live. Keep trading it like you normally do. Don't intentionally blow it. And then if you're trading with Alpha, that's gonna benefit that style of trading, right? And I also think it's really cool too, like that you can get weekly calls, dude. Like I've probably said this multiple times, but weekly calls really stands out in my mind, right? Like it's almost like free mentorship. Like I mean, not well, it's not exactly, but you get my point, right? Like people on the internet are charging you boatloads of money, and on top of that, they're not real prop firm traders. Like it's just random person off social media who you're believing them to get payouts, right? Like you meet with an in-house, they have an in-house quantitative team, right? Yeah. So um this is one of the many reasons I'm pretty much doubling down on my trading with Alpha Futures. And yes, like I might be an affiliate, but it's not swaying my opinion, right? Like I'm listing all reasons that are outside of me an affiliate. Like me personally as a trader, even if I was an affiliate, none of this stuff would change. Speaking of being an affiliate though, if you guys are looking to pick up any accounts to Alpha Futures, I do have my discount code, which is code TIMB272. It is always going to get you the best current discount, which right now, well, I say right now, it depends when you're watching, is 10% right now. It's always going to be 10%, but if there is some better discount going on, it's going to match that. So pretty much always use discount code TIMB272 in picking up any accounts to Alpha Futures. I also like they have many platform options. Like if you are like an order flow trader, for example, they have like Deep Charts, Quantower, and they also, it looks like you can get access to Deep Dom with Alpha Futures. So that's also another way you can save money. Because let's say if you are an order flow trader, right? Like they talk about when you go to the Alpha Prime website, they talk about some of the tools they have. You don't even need to make it to Alpha Prime to use Deep Dom, but normally you have to pay a lot of money for Deep Dom, right? So all the benefits of Alpha Futures. I know I'm glazing a little bit, so I'll stop here. And also, lastly, I don't know if you guys know, but I do live trade Monday to Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube. So definitely pull up, see me trade in live time, ask me any questions, see me give my analysis. But if you watch this video all the way through, I really appreciate it. I hope you're able to find some value. I would really appreciate it if you could put a comment down below with your thoughts, hit that like button, also subscribe. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Best of luck in your trading. Peace out.